106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Wow!
Welcome back to the Blues Brothers Minute. This is that podcast you like because we review the film The Blues Brothers, 2 minutes at a time. I am Tom Taylor, and I am here with my friend Mike DeMaria.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, Mike. And to everybody, yes. And also here with us is our friend Dan Lewis.
Well, hey, everybody. Good morning, evening, whatever it is. I listen first thing in the morning.
Sure.
Monday
Even
morning.
though it's night times for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we sound tired because we're about to go to bed, or do we sound tired because we just got up? It's up to you to decide. Theater of the mind. And here on today's episode, we are discussing minutes 51 and 52 of The Blues Brothers, in which Jake assures Mr. Fabulous that everything's fine. They're just here to dine and partake of the establishment's many fares. And they make themselves comfy at Chez Paul, and they order some food, and they somehow bother the family at the table behind them, and we don't quite know how yet. That's about what happens in these minutes.
My brother and I have come to dine.
I don't, no point. You know, I'm surprised as to what bothers them about them. You know, you're going to find out in the next minute what bothers them, but it's a surprise to me every time I watch it.
Well, they're both in suits.
You know what? Now that you mentioned it, it's a surprise to me too.
Yeah.
Well, they're both in suits, so I don't know what's so offensive about them right off the bat.
Right.
Yeah, but they do.
They're both very careful to.
They're acting weird, and they order 5 shrimp cocktails, and they tuck their napkins under. You know, they're upsetting the vibe of the place.
But they're bugged because everybody stops and looks at Elwood through the glass.
Yeah,
I love that. That's one of my favorite parts of the whole movie. That little moment.
It is a really good moment.
Yeah. Like, I don't even know what it is exactly. There's something kind of, oh, you know what it is? It's a little bit like Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places, standing out in the rain, watching everybody having a beautiful meal in there, and he's out in the rain in a fur coat.
In the Santa costume.
Yeah. I'm thinking of going long on April wheat. What do you think, Valentine?
Yeah. I wouldn't do that. Yeah, right. And then he's standing there just like sopping wet rain in his Santa beard and just like standing there.
He's like, blah.
I like when he tries to eat the big piece of salmon and it gets like all that stuff caught in there. I mean, I don't like it. Like,
so
it's actually viscerally upsetting to me, but I like that he's like trying to do it.
Yeah, all the fluff around the salmon.
The fluffy salmon is it's never coming back, is it? It was a delicacy years ago, but never again.
I couldn't.
Yeah, but I love that.
I couldn't eat salmon with my Santa suit on for years after seeing that.
Yeah. Well, I often have a debate. Is it actually salmon that he takes out of? This is a whole different movie, but is it actually salmon that comes out of his beard, or is it like a big like a slab of ham or something,
or
roast
salmon.
beef? Because the way he tugs at it,
I think it's salmon because he grabs it earlier from the buffet.
I think
table.
it is too, but it's so like if it was salmon, you'd expect it to just like come apart more easily. He's like tugging at it and it like rips off a big hunk and stuff.
Well, it's like it's movie set salmon, so it's not really salmon.
It's from Craft Services. Mm-hmm. It's not that good.
Immediately picking apart Trading Places.
Or maybe it's just hard to pull because he's got so much beard in it.
Yeah.
There's the beard that he's tugging on. Well, we don't know.
What
in
that
any
looks
case,
like, all that salmon with that hair when you pass it later.
Oh my God. Oh my God. You just try not to look at times like that. I know we all like to peek every once in a while, but sometimes you just know it's better not to look.
Mind you, like he could be bothered by the fact that Jake does do that horrible whistle, and whenever people do that whistle on the street, it's piercing. I hate all whistling.
Yeah,
I can't stand whistling.
Oh, like even like a musical whistle or?
I hate whistling. I hate people.
Like
I must have talked about this before, right?
I don't know.
First of all, people that whistle, it's so inane to me. This whistling, like everybody walks around whistling, and I don't give a shit. Like, if they're a particularly good whistler and they're whistling something specific, I can maybe be okay with it.
Yeah.
But like, and I probably shouldn't say, my roommate does this. He walks around whistling. He'll never listen to this. It doesn't matter. But he does with the whistling. But I never said anything about the whistling earlier. So now I can't say anything about the whistling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like all of a sudden it's a thing for you.
Almost all whistlers are whistling. You cannot even pick out the melody. It's just like random fucking notes.
Yeah, I feel like my
hate
dad does
whistlers.
that.
And hummers and whistlers just walking around. Shut up.
I think I am a whistler, but I'm actually whistling something. I often do that, I think.
Maybe in
I'll
your
try not
head
to do
you
it
are,
around
but
you.
other people like me are walking around just going, "Shut up, tall man."
Oh my God,
whistling.
that's not even a song. Jesus Christ. Well, how about, what about like in MASH, the movie MASH? Donald Sutherland has his little, I can't do it right now.
Yeah, that's different.
He kind of does that every once in a while.
Yeah, I like that.
Is that like a
if
little
you do
accent?
a quick whistle, it's the person walking around going,
Like they're guilty of
you're just
something.
like, what the
And they're
fuck
trying to
are you
act
talking
relaxed and
Yeah,
innocent.
with their hands in their pocket, rocking heel to toe
about? Yeah.
as they're looking side to side right before they swipe something.
Yeah, right. Pop some kid's balloon. Actually, you know what the best whistle on the face of the earth is? And I hope I can do it right now. It's in the movie I don't know if we ever talked about this. In The Shining, Scatman Crothers is sitting there talking to the kid, and he says, sometimes like a place can something that can happen leaves a trace of itself behind. Say when someone burns toast, and he whistles the word toast. I didn't do it great just then. Let me try again. Say when someone burns toast. He says toast, and like the S of toast becomes a whistle somehow. It's fantastic.
Is it a bad cut or something? What's the?
No. It's just I think it's just his mouth did a weird thing at that moment.
Are you sure this is not an "Iams told" type situation?
No. I will find the clip and we'll post it.
You know, Doc, when something happens, it can leave a trace of itself behind. Say, like, if someone burns toast.
And I probably just cut it in here just now, but it's one of my. I bonded with my friend Paul Yates. We're at a diner together, and he's like, "You know what the best part of The Shining is?" And in the back of my head, you know how you do that sometimes. You're like, "Oh, I know what the best part of The Shining is."
Yeah, but he's not going to say
the part where Scatman Crothers whistles toast. And he said that when Scatman Crothers whistles toast, I was like, "Oh, I should be friends with this guy Paul Yates. He's got it all figured out."
Right.
Yeah, and here we sit now. We're still friends based on that and nothing else. Yeah, so there are good whistles.
I've had lots. I love those moments where you just feel like, I love you.
Yeah. I've had that with a few people.
My buddy, when I first moved to California, I don't want to, just go off on a tangent, but it reminds me of when my buddy Eric, I first moved here, and I'm in California, right? And I haven't lived in Chicago, which is kind of a different place in the vibe. We've talked about it before.
Mm-hmm.
Mike spoke of the French hotel and the guy giving the massage and all the rest of it. And
Yeah.
Communist Republic of Berkeley and all the rest of that stuff. Anyway, it felt like a different place.
All that Berkeley nonsense.
Yeah, and I'm hanging around, and I've got it in my head that maybe the place is nonsense, and I've got these like kind of new friends. I don't really know them very well, and I'm hanging out with a group of them, and a couple of their friends who I don't know at all, which I hardly know anybody, but I come out of this house where a lot of people were hanging out and having a drink or whatever, and we're coming out of this like big loft, and they come up in a car, and they just gotten back from Burning Man or one of these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they said they were like, "Oh, we got these new crystals, and they're really great. They're like really powerful,
Not like the
and
bad crystals. These are good ones.
Back in my head, I'm going, what the fuck are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like, you better be talking about meth, because that's the only way that would make sense that they were powerful, right? But no, they were just like, and they were like waving the crystals over each other's heads.
Oh boy.
And they're going, wow, yeah, And then finally, this guy Eric, who's my friend, and I thought like, I was like, I was really hoping he'd be my friend. You know what I mean? I really liked him. And then they wave it over his head, and he just stands there, and I'm like, come on. And he goes, I'm happy that you guys are happy. Which is the kind of guy. Awesome. The kind of guy that he is. Like, he finds the best way to put everything so that he doesn't piss anybody off, because he's a terrific guy, And he's also the guy, by the way, who had a black waiter once and ordered his coffee no cream, no sugar, because he didn't want to say black.
That's pretty.
And he's a regular listener.
Beautiful. Wow. Oh, very
and
good.
He's the guy. And he's the guy who can do the jive speech from Airplane, but he only does it on my birthday.
Because he feels bad about it. Cut to the pro, right?
Slick.
Yeah, he feels bad about doing it, but on my birthday, he'll do it like in secret.
Oh, nice.
He'll go to a corner of a room and he'll go, "Hey, mama, don't cut slack." He'll go, "Give me the fish, drag it through the garden."
Cut me some slack, Jack.
So the crystals.
Shit.
The crystals. That's
I
beautiful.
saw that. I was at the, when Chicago had this was a couple of years ago, quite a few years ago, they had the Green Festival here, right?
Mhm.
They'd have it at McCormick Place. They'd have all these vendors and, get all these
Oh, yeah.
samples of, green technology and green foods and whatnot. So I'd go check it out and see what the latest is. But there was always that somebody there, like, that just takes it a little too far.
Oh, sure.
Walking around, and there was like one guy was you were talking about the crystals, but this was like the power of the pyramid, or the triangle power, or the pyramid power.
Lovely.
So he had this like contraption on where it was like this wire pyramid that it was like a harness, and he was inside the pyramid and he was walking around trying to, with his little bag of picking up little samples from everywhere. But the guy had he was inside of a wire pyramid. And I was like, that's why. That guy right there. Same thing with the French French cafe. He was all about pyramid power, being about the power of the pyramids. It's like the crystals,
Yeah.
But he was wearing this pyramid. It was like a wire.
Solved all his problems?
Yeah, like he put it over his shoulders and his head was at the top of the pyramid. And it was just like this wire frame of a pyramid that was around him.
What was it supposed
But he's just
to
walking
do?
around.
I don't understand it.
I don't know. He was just talking about it's an energy thing, You just like you use the crystals to whatever you do.
Oh, he's
Clear
just
out
saying that it generates energy. He's a quack.
Yeah, but he wasn't a vendor. He was just a participant walking around.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
He's a freelance quack.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and I was like, that guy right there.
Town.
Yeah, that guy right there. That's why it's so difficult to try to get people behind, like electric cars
Right.
and solar power, because they think we're all like this.
Is the pyramid guy
You
into
just
it?
look like a
Forget
quack.
it.
Yeah, it's like it's
Yeah.
quackery.
You look like a total quack with this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
I think that
Smudging.
people go too
Forget
far.
Yeah.
And recently, and I could be proven wrong about this, but recently this longtime restaurant closed around here. It had been open for the however many decades and passed down from generation. And they cited one of the reasons. It was kind of funny. They cited one of the reasons for it closing down was increasing rent, of course, but also the fact that people aren't using cocaine as much. So you're not getting people coming in like in the 70s and just like needing drinks to like take the edge
Right.
off. So they're not
Oh,
drinking
wow.
as much and they can't make as much money, which is another good it's a perfectly, at least plausible reason.
Mhm.
But then they cited global warming as being a thing.
Uh,
And that because it's, I can't remember what they said. They said that like because it's colder, people aren't going out or something, or because it's warmer, people aren't getting refreshing drinks as much or something. And I'm just like, dude, it's half a degree warmer on the entire planet. You're making it's a very real problem that you're making us look stupid.
Exactly.
with this stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
It's closing restaurants now. People's faith in their favorite local watering holes is failing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think we have to go that far with it.
Yeah, you don't, because
Right.
then you make everybody look like exactly like seeing the Communist Republic of Berkeley shirts when you walk down the street. You're making everybody look like a dope.
People along the coast are going to drown, but it's not making puppies sad or not see blue correctly or something.
Yeah, right.
Don't muddy the argument with your nonsense.
Right. Did we get the bookends for this minute?
Yeah.
We did, and you always miss it. You always miss the
Yeah, he
bookends.
did
I
good.
go right to your face
I
and
see
you
right
just-
through the
you're-
bookends, and I don't know what's happening
Yeah.
in my head when that happens.
That's all right.
Hey, let me
They're
ask
not
you
as
something.
with these 2-minute things. They're not as sharp as they could be, maybe.
Well, let me ask you
but
something.
whatever.
Are you when you do the bookends? Have you already introduced me and Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
After
that
I
first.
introduce the two of you, I kind of amble into, hey, today we're talking about minutes, whatever and whatever.
Because
And
I never have anything ready for when you introduce me, and then I always try too hard, and it sounds stupid. And then I'm always upset about it each time. And then maybe like you're giving the bookends as I'm reeling from that.
Yeah, and like kicking yourself and saying, I could have done.
Why can't you just
no
have something
do-overs.
ready?
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Oh, but you both of you just mentioned the tucking the napkins into the collars, which they do, and it looks buffoonish as they do it, and goofy and something they shouldn't be doing. But that seems, and I don't do it myself, but it seems like a very sensible, helpful thing to do, depending on what you're about to be eating and what you're wearing.
I think so.
But I don't really see people doing that anymore unless they're goons.
Well, but you're not going to have a lobster, you know.
What do you mean?
Well,
Are you gonna have
you're
a
saying
lobster?
tucking the handkerchief into the shirt?
Tucking the napkin
And the napkin.
into your collar instead of just
That's a
having it in your
bib,
lap.
though. That's really, like I was saying, if you're not eating a lobster, you really shouldn't need that unless you're about to make a real slob.
What
of
if you're eating
yourself.
like spaghetti or something? I lent my friend a tie for a wedding, and he's about to dig into this thing of spaghetti, and he said, "You know what? I should probably take care of Tom's tie. I'm going to flip it over my shoulder." He flipped it over his shoulder and immediately got spaghetti sauce all over his shirt, but it missed my tie because he was smart and
Well, I
exactly
guess
the
you
right
make a
time.
good
So I'm
point.
just saying, like any food you eat could get all over you if you're not careful,
Yeah,
especially if you're a slob.
yeah,
Well, I
you make a
think-
good point.
Well, I think just tucking in that napkin, it kind of gives the sense of then you have a fork and knife in one hand, you're like pounding on the table.
Yeah.
So I think it has that.
Yeah.
Sign of
so
the
I
beef
think it has
driver.
that. Yeah, I think it has that kind of like working
Yeah.
man, work a day,
Right.
big appetite when you come home, and you're
Right.
still in your overalls.
You're probably you're the kind of guy who might make a huge mess all over his clothes.
or you're
the way
just
he eats.
It's just like I'm home now. Woman, cook me some food.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're burning that steak.
Yeah.
Bring it over here. Bring it over here.
You're right. That's a good point.
Come over.
But they do seem happy. They're very happy sitting down with their goofy napkins and their collars, and
It's a good
they're
look.
having a nice time. It is. Maybe that. I don't. Is it? I'm all confused about the napkin and the collar.
Well, just overall, sunglasses on, and you're still in the restaurant, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
suits with the,
Yeah.
and then the white napkin over the black suit. I don't know. It's got a good look to
Yeah.
it. And it doesn't bother me. And I
It
like
does, and like we were saying before, this nothing about the way they're behaving would make you think that the problem with them is that they smell.
Right. At no point you think, oh boy.
Like there's a lot more going
No,
on.
but I don't think.
Yeah.
But I think the feeling you get is they just don't take those suits off ever because they fell asleep in their suits.
You're wearing the same clothes you had on 3 years ago.
Fool.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, we can get into their smell later because he doesn't actually. He gets cut off. He doesn't get to explain what the problem
Right.
is.
Right.
But Pee-wee's here.
Oh, I love that.
Pee-wee takes
I
their
just
order.
love that Pee Wee
Here's a Don
shows up.
Perignon, a 1971 Don Perignon at $125.
Ah, that's great. For $120.
This is my only line.
But he gives a great
I
look.
saw him on Broadway a few years ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's right.
In
Played
what?
Pee Wee's
Yeah.
Playhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, he did Pee Wee's
He did
Playhouse
Pee-wee's
on
Playhouse
Broadway?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It was awesome.
It was during his comeback.
It was really great. Yeah.
I hate to say
It was a lot
this,
of
but
fun.
if you're whacking off in that crowd in the theater, how much trouble can
Yeah.
you really get into? I mean,
Really, come on. It'd be a crime not to.
the hypocrisy.
It'd be a missed opportunity.
Well, that's the whole point of those places, right?
Yeah, I
What,
know.
those,
Just because he went to
the
a,
Dorothy
he was at a
Chandler
porn
Pavilion?
theater, right?
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah, he
I
wasn't
don't
at, like,
understand what
Chitty
he.
Chitty
What is
Bang
it? I don't
Bang.
even understand what he's in trouble for. Then, isn't that what everybody's
Yeah.
doing?
was-
Whacking off.
Well, I think it's just you're still not supposed to do it.
You're not supposed to pump off in the.
I guess not. Yeah.
theater.
Well, who really cares? I don't know. Oh, you're going to make this place gross the way you're behaving.
Yeah, what are you
Don't
doing?
do that.
This is a reputable
Get
establishment.
that napkin out of your collar. You're gross.
My grandson.
Yeah.
I went to this like
My grandson
pretty
went to a
crazy
motion picture.
live weird show at in Amsterdam once.
Yeah, you
You
told
know,
me
they
about
got
that.
they got these ones with like, you know, I mean, was like a real like porn show, and
Ooh.
I was with some friends though. It wasn't like I didn't go there alone like a trench coat on. It was like
No,
it was like sort of a
like-
fun.
no, 'cause
we're all
it's like dinner theater out there.
It is, and you know what it was? It was like the whole atmosphere was very like it wasn't like a dirty, dingy place. It was like a lively, fun sort of atmosphere, and there was this whole group of Japanese businessmen there, you know, and we're watching, and it was all very silly and fun, and they're like making jokes about it. It wasn't so much just like this totally. It wasn't only lurid. It was lurid, but it was
They're
also
being ironic.
other things. But then at some point, the group of dudes left, the Japanese guys, and they came back, and one of them had accidentally like left his passport behind or something. So they stopped the show and like got like these spotlights on there, and like everybody pitched in
Oh
to
my
help out
God.
for him to find it. It was like nothing like what you would think it would be here, you know. was many years ago.
And y'all had to look at each other.
Yeah.
Or were the people on stage, were they looking too?
And I don't remember that part. No, I don't know. But there was
All
a
the
guy in a
crevices.
gorilla costume, like Al Franken in Trading Places or whatever. Like there was a guy in a costume
Yeah.
like that for some reason.
Sure.
But this was just
We
the whole
assume so.
atmosphere of it was that like you weren't like embarrassed to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's funny.
that's the whole point
That's
of
refreshing.
that
Well,
place.
I barely remember it because I had one of those space cakes.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
Good God.
Oh my. Blast off.
Blast off. What movie is that, Mike?
Blast off.
Blast
I don't
off.
know.
You tell them I said blast off.
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
George C. Scott, there's your hint.
From
I'll be back before you can say blast off.
Strange Love.
Yeah, that's
Doctor Strangelove, right?
yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's
Try
a
to
good
pick you up
film.
here, man. Come on.
I'm all right. I got it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about me.
Just ain't on the keyboard. Come on.
just looking for it. Come on. I love the way once in a while. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna
Yeah,
start.
when you're in
I
Amsterdam.
was going to start talking about the audience as though everybody listened to that part of the Stern Show, and it's a stupid thing to do. It's nobody else knows what you're talking
Yeah, that's
about. I was
probably
going to say
fair.
about how Sal does such a good
Yeah.
job with stuff like that. But anyway, that's it.
Well, in Amsterdam, when you go into the cafes there, they have, they when you order one of those cigarettes,
Mhm.
those left-handed cigarettes, they
cigarette.
cut it with tobacco.
Right. Yeah,
And
they
cut,
do.
They cut it with
Oh, really?
tobacco. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to tell them you're
That's how
American.
the Europeans.
Yeah, you have to go,
They
I'm
do like an
American, so I just
American-
want the ganja part of it.
So they just roll their eyes and
And then they go, oh, brother. And then they double charge you.
Child.
And even then, it's only like $12 for enough pot to get everybody on the planet
yeah,
obliterated.
like 35 cents.
Like it matters that it's double the price.
Yeah. And they give it to you like in a little cylindrical like plastic tube.
That place is
Yeah, then
so
you-
much fun for a 25-year-old to be wandering around in. Are you kidding me? Now I would
You
just
tell them
be-
you're American, they roll their eyes like skeletons of Quinto.
Yeah. It was 1937 and Spain was racked by civil war.
Eye
Oh,
roll.
boy.
It's like a.
Quinto.
Have you been there, Tom? Tom, you been there?
No, I haven't. No.
It's very strange in the sense that it has that party atmosphere,
yeah.
but it's also like a beautiful
Yeah.
art. It's got
Gorgeous.
the Van Gogh Museum. It's got like just
Yeah.
fantastic places. It's got the Anne Frank house.
It's not
got
Fort
all this
Lauderdale.
history.
Yeah, it's not Daytona
Yeah,
Beach.
and at the same time, you're walking around looking at all this architecture, and you're on the canals. Then you make a right turn, and then you're in the red light
Yeah.
district. And everything else still exists, the art and the buildings, but then they have these window displays of debauchery.
Yeah, and it's just like they're able
Yeah.
to. I don't know how they're able to balance. Because when places here become, it's like Vegas was like a debaucherous place, but then it becomes like sort of a faux debaucherous mall, like shopping mall type place. And there's never any
With great
balance
shows.
to it. Like in Amsterdam, I had exactly the same thing, Mike, where you're having fun in the red light district, wandering around, and like maybe you go into one of these cafes and you get begged to the bejesus belt, and like, and then it's like the next day you rent a bike and you ride around the perimeter and just see the most amazing, beautiful houses, and you might go to a terrific museum. It's just like a mix that you, for whatever reason, isn't really possible in most places. I don't know. That's exactly my experience.
And I
as
was,
well.
I was trying to explain to, I went into one place and, to look around the cafe, and I was just kind of getting the beat of the place, and because it's just so interesting. And then they have like you could order something, and then there's a back room where you can sit and just, it's like a smoking room.
Mhm.
And the guy that was like working the counter or something, he had like a Bob Marley hat on, like a Dutch kid. And he was sitting in the back. And we're sitting in the back of the room, and he's just asking me all these questions about where I'm from. And he goes, I go, from Chicago. And he goes, oh yeah, I've heard, it's a dangerous place. I go, it's okay. I go, yeah, it's great city. It's got its crime. I said, I'll tell you what. He goes, I'm sitting here in this back room with you, and this like, I go, it's dark. It's kind of like I goes, the way my experience, like I'm expecting to be hit in the head with a bat at any minute.
Right.
Because it just feels weird. I'm sitting here, you're staring at me,
Yeah.
you're asking me all these
Yeah.
questions, and like the American city conditioning that I'm going through. I'm expecting at any time somebody to come out of that room that's working with you,
Yeah.
and you guys are going to roll me.
You realize
You know,
it's a snow job.
and then I realize I realize I'm in Europe and I'm in Amsterdam where everybody's chill,
Yeah.
and they don't really understand that kind of
Yeah.
wacky behavior.
You've got like only then can you realize the low level anxiety that you've been living with, that you live with in life.
Right.
It's the same thing as when you go out to the country
God,
and
I'm
you
a
get real
basket case.
darkness or real quiet. Suddenly that
Yeah,
din. Suddenly
Stars.
now you can hear the din that you couldn't hear before because it's not there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it freaks you out.
Yeah, it's a little bit freaky.
Yeah, and he didn't understand it. He's like, I don't know, I don't get that. I'm like, yeah, of course you don't.
Why would I
Right.
hit you with a bat?
I go,
don't
but
understand.
but I got my hand cocked back at all times. So you better,
Just ready to go.
so if you make a quick move at
Like a
me,
spring-loaded
I'm gonna
dummy.
hit you with a,
Right? Yeah, right.
yeah, I'm gonna hit you with a bunch of rabbit punches to the face. Bam, 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 and I'm heading to the door.
What?
So I'm all, I was trying to explain to him that we're always on this state of high alert when we're in places,
Right.
I'm in some back room here
Yeah.
and I'm expecting the worst.
Stranger danger.
Ah,
And he was like, whoa, he's putting his hands up
Whoa.
like, whoa, whoa.
Hands where I can see him, buddy.
Yeah, because he knows that he's probably thinking the same thing. Oh, I'm in a room with a maniac.
right.
now.
Now he's got his hand cocked
Yeah, one
back.
of those
He brought
American
a little bit of
nut jobs.
America back to Amsterdam with
Yeah.
you. So he could
Yeah. You're going to
Yeah.
ruin it. You're going to ruin
Oh,
Amsterdam.
God, that's
Yeah.
great.
You people keep this city.
They're infected
But I'll tell
with
you what, though, I
Americans.
had those, the pancakes are fantastic, like the
Oh,
savory
yeah.
ones.
And they serve it with the stroop.
Ooh,
Oh, no,
really?
no, I'm sorry. That's the savory ones you're talking about now.
Yeah, I like the sweet ones with the savory ones because you'd have like ham and like a very good cheese and ham in the pancake.
Right.
In the pancake.
Yeah, they have savory and
Okay.
sweet. That's all.
Wow.
That's all I ate while I was there. Those and some French onion soup and frites.
Oh,
Oh,
of course.
Oh, my
that's
God.
great. I love that stuff.
Sweet Lord.
Mike,
Wow.
I'd love to make you some French onion
Sounds
soup one of
nice.
these days. Make it up real special.
yeah, one of these days.
Oh, come on.
Please
Said
do.
Now,
that.
is that a euphemism, or you literally want to make us some French
wanna-
onion soup?
That means he wants me
And
to
were you
come.
talking to both of us?
What that means is he wants me to come over and he hits me in the head with a bat.
Right. Make off with it.
Yeah, really.
Snow
Mike, wouldn't
job.
you like
Snow
some onion
job.
soup?
Well, bat.
It's real good. It's right down this alley.
Fucking
It's a
snow
snow
job.
job. Oh,
It's like, it's like when when Joe Pesci realized he was about to get whacked. Oh no,
oh,
Pop.
no. That's
Oh,
that.
no.
Good feathers.
Right.
You'll shoot
Good
your eye
fellows.
out,
It
kid.
was payback for Billy
Shoot the
Bats.
back of your head out,
Wait.
kid.
It's real greaseball
And that's
shit.
that.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
There's only one Irishman here.
Thanks.
Nobody complains about how easily Robert De Niro just shoves over a phone booth in that scene.
Give us a drink.
Like
Give us a
a
drink.
freestanding phone booth. He just shoves it over.
It scares
us a
me
drink.
when
Give
he
us a
shoves
drink.
that thing over. He doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
And the way he hits that I mean, we've all felt like doing that, hitting the phone receiver against the payphone
The
thing. But I mean, the
receiver,
way
yeah.
he does it is with real authority.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, if you have to do more
gotta
than
break
one
something.
take, you got to get a new phone booth in there because he's destroyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had like a line of like 15 phones that they could replug in there.
Give us a drink. Give us
No,
a drink.
Drinks are on the house.
On the house.
Yeah, they got a little back we're on pauses and stuff.
Thanks to the 20 Irishmen over
Yeah.
here.
Give those Irish hoodlums a drink. All dressed up and doing the town.
Look at this.
That scene could have gone so many other ways.
All right, well, there's a lot to talk
couldn't,
about in this minute here.
Okay, let's talk
There
about
is,
it. Come
there
on,
is,
let's
there
get
is,
back to
there
the
is.
thing.
Yes.
Come on.
I do like that Mr. Fabulous acts as though they've rung a death knell or something when he hears that they're getting the band back together. It's like
Yeah.
the worst thing he could have heard.
The worst news. it
Like
could
the color
possibly-
goes from his face.
And it's like he
Yeah.
sees them and they're there, and it's still a surprise. Like you're not gonna bring. Like it's one thing that you're here, and that's freaking me out. But
Yeah.
it's 10 times
Yeah.
worse that you're getting the band back together.
Yeah.
Right.
Come on,
Like he sees his life flashing before his eyes. His life here is over.
I'm sure we'll have a table for you in just a few moments.
That's something I don't get. Are they waiting because the Blues Brothers took their table?
Yeah, that's prop.
But it seems like it's more table than just that one couple needs.
Yeah. That's good. Well,
It's weird.
could be
We have a Dom Perignon 1971 at $120.
$120.
Very good. Story.
We got a Don Perignon. $120. It's in 1971.
It's Kermit the Frog.
Well, yeah, I do a little Kermit with that.
That'll be fine, pal. When he walks, then Paul Rubens walks away just batting his eyes.
Yeah.
He's offended.
Yeah.
I love the look. He does that thing where his head just turns a little like he shows an annoyance that's sort of like restrained in a wait staff.
It's very C3PO.
He's got the Jimi Hendrix shirt on.
Yeah. Come on, guys. The food here is really expensive. The fucking soup is $10. Come on, I'll come outside. I'll buy you a cup of coffee.
Soup's just $10 now. You know,
I know, really.
all soup's $10.
Way to
now.
date the movie.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
The soup
Putting
at
the
Culver's
band
is
back
$10.
together. Forget it. Forget it. No way.
No
He
way.
keeps offering them coffee. Let's go outside and I'll get you some coffee. Like, where are they going to get caught? Like, they're just like outside the restaurant. There's just coffee.
Sir?
Yeah,
a tureen
I know
of coffee.
Corner of Erie and Rush Street. There's no coffee.
Nah. No
The
affordable
salads
coffee.
are fine.
For God's sake.
How are the salads? The salads are fine.
Are fine.
You know, I really, I'm either not understanding true camaraderie here, or even musically, I'm not understanding something. But is it really super important that you get the trumpet player back? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like if
I don't know.
really,
That's a good
if
question.
if what's his name? Too tall, too
Too big, Will.
Willie Too Big
Hall.
Too Big Hall?
too big.
Yeah.
Willie Hall, not tall. I was thinking tall, but it's Hall.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of Tall Tom Taylor. But it's
Yeah.
Willie, yeah. It's like, you know, you want him and you want Donald Duck Dunn. I mean, that is the nerve center of a great rhythm and blues band,
Yeah.
right? But I
Yeah.
mean, though, if you miss out
And
on the
McIntyre
trumpet,
Murphy.
it's not like anybody's going to go see the band and they play "She Caught the Katy" and they're like, "Where's the trumpet? Where's the trumpet in this song?"
That's true. Now, what do
I
they?
know, look,
We've never
I
talked
wanna-
about this. What is the makeup of the Blues Brothers? They've got, with the full complement, is they got a trumpet.
They have three
They got a
horns.
saxophone.
They have three horns.
Three. Oh, okay, yeah.
At least three. You've got so
They
you
got
got Bones Malone
They have Lou Marini.
on
Playing
trombone.
What? Wait, what does
right?
Bones Malone play?
Yeah, he plays
Trombone.
trombone.
It's Bones.
Okay.
Trombone.
That's the Bones. In
And then
Bones
you
Malone.
got
Exactly.
Lou
Tromboner.
Marini. You got Lou Marini
the,
on saxophone,
Saxophonist.
Yeah.
That works at the diner, right?
and that's Lou Marini.
Yeah, right.
And then you
We
have
haven't seen him yet.
Mr. Fabulous on
Fabulous.
trumpet.
On trumpet. Yeah.
Okay.
So you kind of
And that's
need all
it?
three, I think.
I guess you do now. See, this just
Because
shows
you got
my
your low
ignorance
end.
about-
Maybe.
Because you got your
So.
you got your low end with the trombone, you got your middle with the sax, and you got your high with the trumpet.
Yeah.
You have all layers. There.
Okay, then what are they? I know Donald Duck Dunn and Steve
Cropper. Colonel.
Colonel.
the Colonel
Cropper.
Cropper.
That's right.
What do they play? They're both
Oh,
on some
God,
sort of
this is
guitar, but
killing me
what's
that
the
I have to-
difference?
we have to answer this question right now. I'm sorry
Yeah, it's really
to
ridiculous.
turn on you like this, Tom, but
Yeah.
obviously
you know what? I
Donald
kinda
Duck
felt like I
Dunn
was
is a
walking
bass
into
player
something.
all the way, and Steve the Colonel Cropper is the guy who.
All right.
I mean, they played Green Onions with Booker T. I mean,
Yeah, they're
Steve
together.
Cropper
Not
wrote
Green
a
Onions
lot
with
of.
Booker
He's
T.
a guitarist. He plays a Fender Telecaster.
All
What are you
right.
talking about?
Yeah.
Fine.
Killing me.
Fine.
We have to answer that question.
I threw myself on the pyre
I-
of knowledge.
I appreciate that you.
So now our audience has the answer. I bet other people out there are wondering. And I took one for you, you
I
punks.
appreciate that you had the honesty in your ignorance to ask that question, though.
the honesty and the ignorance to make that happen.
To go ahead and just ask it and not, because they say there's no stupid
Sure.
questions, and it's important to remember
Yeah.
that when you have a stupid question.
I'm actually getting to the point in life, just in daily life, where I'm like, you know what? I'm going to ask questions. A lot of times I don't ask questions because I feel like I'm supposed to
I
know
know
the
exactly
answer.
what you mean,
but then I
Tom.
go through life not knowing the answers. I never
I
get
know
the answer. 'Cause I'm
exactly
supposed to
what
know
you
it and I
mean.
don't know it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm getting to the point where I'm like, no. Maybe I'll come across stupid, but I'm gonna ask questions. I'm gonna take that leap.
I do this a
I'm gonna
lot.
look stupid and
I
find
do
out
this
stuff.
a lot, and I get it from. You ever read about Richard Feynman?
No.
I'm not going to pretend that I'm anywhere near the same universe as this guy, but he's like one of the most brilliant physicists ever. You know, he died in like the late 80s. But he was the guy who figured out the Challenger, why it exploded, all this stuff. Like they brought him out of retirement to do it. And he has got, he had multiple Nobel Prizes and just an amazing guy. But he was fun to read about because he had lots of interests in life. And he wrote about a lot of them and talked about a lot of them. He's always questioning things and wondering about it,
Yeah.
And in fact, recently, some group of scientists figured out why it's hard to break spaghetti into two pieces. Like when you take a piece of hard spaghetti and before it's cooked and you try to break it, it will break into three pieces. And there's some very complex physics around it. And I guess it was like a question it's like this is one of the 50 questions that he would go around sort of asking about the world constantly. Like he had this incredible, insatiable desire to learn about these things. But anyway, he's a really interesting guy to read about, and I very much recommend a book called Surely You're Joking,
How to Break Spaghetti.
Mr. Feynman. That's what the book is
Wait,
called.
I'm sorry, I spoke
It's
right
called
over it. What's it called?
Surely You're Joking, Mr. Feynman. And it's all about his like adventures in life and all this other stuff. But anyway,
nice.
One of the things he used to do is like he just didn't have a good memory and he would not understand. Like people would refer to things by name, like so and so's theory of quantum such and such. And he'd go, I don't know what that is. And they'd go, how could you, of all people, not know? And he goes, well, just explain it to me, and then I'll have
the one
it.
with the cat in the box.
He's constantly having to go like, you know what I mean? And I'm not trying to. I feel bad. I'm not trying to compare myself to that, but it made me feel a little bit better to walk around and go when you don't understand something, and just to go like, hey, explain it to me like I'm 8 years old. Just start from there. Yeah. And let me. So I wasn't afraid. I was less afraid to do that when I read about Richard Feynman.
I'm on the verge of doing that exact thing. There's something that I am clearly supposed to be right on top of, something that I've been faking my way through for years. And I'm at the point now where I'm like, this is getting me nowhere. I need to sit down with somebody I trust who will not think that I'm an idiot and just say, okay, explain this thing that I've been doing for years. Explain this to me as though I know nothing. Just trust me. Just it'll seem weird to you because I've been doing it for years, but just explain it to me as though I know nothing, and that would do me so much good. Thank you very much. You're my friend.
Right.
You're right, Tom.
Yeah.
If I could just add one more thing to that is that the true test is not to sit down with somebody who won't think you're an idiot, is to go ahead and be okay with sitting down with somebody who will think you're an idiot.
Yeah. I don't know you. You're an idiot.
Just to trust that in the long run, you will win them over by showing that you understand.
And you'll probably,
or in the long run, you don't have to care. If they tell you what you need to know, you'll be like, oh, thank you very much. That might have seemed weird to you. You may think I'm an idiot, but I just learned something.
Who's
thank
the
you.
idiot now?
Right.
Yeah. Genius.
I did this just the other day with a friend about how babies are made. I know that I'm supposed to understand it. I know that because I talk about it in a way that suggests, but the whole time I haven't, but then it got too late to say anything about it. So finally I sat down with a friend I trusted.
Sure. Yeah.
And I said, I had him explain it to me.
Nice. Now, see, I absolutely know where babies come from and how they're made. But just in case Mike or somebody else listening doesn't know, could you really slowly and really just finitely explain it to me? Thank you.
Me right now? You want to do that?
Or we could do it off the air if you'd rather. And
well, let me take you take
website or something.
You take a dash of hope.
My hopes have been dashed.
You take a sprinkle of effort. And you take a quarter cup of love.
Oh.
And you mix that with wet humping. And that's how babies are made.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. This podcast took a turn.
Hey, it's science, Mike. You can't complain about it. That's
I'm
biology.
I'm letting somebody else carry the shit show for once.
Oh, jeez.
And look where it went.
Yeah,
okay,
good.
Mr. Fabulous. Speaking of Mr. Fabulous.
Yeah. Mr. Fabulous.
Maybe that's why you would say, well, why do you need, if you were going to try to get the band back together with the three of us, I'm Mr. Fabulous.
Yeah. Mike's the load-bearing trumpet of the group. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the voice of reason. The reason trumpet.
That second floor won't stay up without the load-bearing beam.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Hey, we got our second mission from God here in this scene, in this minute.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah. He does a good one, too.
Yeah,
and there was no reaction to it.
Right, it's just there. He just keeps saying it.
Yeah. There was no blank stare after.
Right.
I'm gonna miss you from God. Does he do the glass shake in this minute or it's the next minute?
No, see, there's a lot of
I'm
really good
sorry.
stuff in the next minutes. And
Yeah.
like we just get to the
The bread-
beginning of like talking to the dad and the family behind him and stuff. There's a lot to talk about there, but it doesn't quite happen yet in these minutes. So we could, if you want, tap the brakes or something.
We have a Dom Perignon 1971 at $120. Love it.
I mean, I'm not, we're getting to the point in the show where one of us could mumble, trivia or something, and then we'd be like the next. Oh my God! What did I do? Oh my God!
There it is.
There we go. Now
There's a jingle that we love so
we
much.
love it. We love it. It just happens. We don't have it on.
Star Wars.
It's not recorded or anything. Oh yeah, well,
Sure.
We've done even
we had some fun.
regular trivia.
We had some fun with prison trivia last week.
Prison. Oh yeah, that's
Prison
right, we did
lingo.
Prison trivia.
That was very
Right.
good. We all
That's
won.
a fun one. I really like that prison
was nice.
trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Tom, I thought I would do trivia this time.
Oh, get out of here! Look at Dan
Yeah, that's
Lewis
right.
coming prepared.
Yeah, I did. I thought,
You have trivia?
Yeah, I thought I would do. I'll do. Well, I've got some trivia about this particular 2-minute.
Oh my God,
Basically about this particular 2-minute set.
that's gorgeous.
So if you have watched the 2 minutes,
Do you know how much
I mean, if you
minimal
hadn't-
effort you've saved me
Yeah.
by having these prepared in advance?
Well,
That's beautiful.
I miss hearing that familiar crinkle of packaging around.
Either
the
that or I'd have to,
Caddyshack.
like,
It's
type
like
Blues
each and every
Brothers
time
into
you're
the-
opening up a new package.
Wait, so you have trivia about this scene then?
That's right.
That's gorgeous.
All right.
I
I'm
got
in.
some trivia. Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Well,
I
lay
thought
it
I
on
would.
us
I
then.
would let Tom off the hook.
Thank you. Oh,
Okay. Yeah. It's got multiple choice trivia. Ready?
it's my favorite kind.
All right.
Can't lose.
Okay. Yeah. So it's a par 3.
Oh, beautiful.
So there's 3 questions, right?
Okay.
Question number 1 is at Chez Paul, at least this many restaurant staff can be seen attending to Jake and Elwood's table.
Oh,
The
Now
entire.
that's
Wait a minute.
yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, sure.
Wait, before we go any farther, so the entire time, or just when they're bringing the food?
In this scene,
oh, so this might even go into the minutes we haven't seen yet, but we've seen them obviously because
no,
we're
in
filming.
No,
this.
he's talking-
I'm sorry. In this chunk.
Oh, okay. Oh,
not
fantastic.
This scene. I'm
okay.
sorry.
But
I guess I have to qualify
But my
it.
question is, do they all have to be there at the same time, or it could be like one comes up and then another one comes up and then a whole bunch of them come up?
Yeah, you have to count all the different. You have to think
Okay.
like how many people
All right.
at Chez
Okay.
Paul.
I
At
feel
least
like
this many restaurant staff.
okay. Yeah. What are the options?
Go ahead.
Or were you giving
At
us
least
the?
this many restaurant staff can be seen attending to Jake and Elwood's table. A, 2, B, 3, C, 5, and D, 7.
It's 5.
Is it 5? Oh,
I think
okay.
it's
Are we
5.
counting Mr. Fabulous?
No.
Okay,
No.
no,
not
like the
Mr.
wait
Fabulous.
staff.
That's a good question, though.
The
That's a
maitre
good
d', I
question
guess,
by
is not a wait
Tom.
person.
Yes,
I
but
didn't
wait
think
a
this
minute.
through
Wait a
enough.
minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Oh,
The
shit.
guy, the father at the other table, looks at Mr. Fabulous and calls him waiter. He goes, waiter,
He goes, maitre d'.
sir.
I don't know if
What?
he does say waiter, does he?
But
He says-
it doesn't matter if it's waiter or not because I said restaurant staff.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, okay.
oh,
What was the last?
You would be right here.
okay.
was
So
the
we are
last-
counting Mr. Fabulous.
What was the last option?
Well, see here now the wording is getting into it because I said at least this many, and the choices were A2, B3, C5, and D7. So,
Well, it'd be all of them except 7, I think.
well, at least this many
At
is
least
what I'm saying.
5.
So yeah, I think you had it right. It was 5. It's
Yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
but so even if it's 6, then it would make 5 the best answer. C.
Right. D would
You
actually
got
be
it
over.
right.
Okay.
I'm
That was
sorry.
right.
You
No,
know,
no.
I only takes me a couple minutes to put this together.
All
You're
right,
doing
so
beautiful.
5, I was right.
Anything to
Question
keep me
two,
from
okay.
searching for trivia on the internet. That's
Absolutely. You're not
worth its
allowed to
weight in
look
gold.
this up when you go. Okay.
Yeah.
Jake orders a $120 bottle of 1971 Dom Perignon champagne. According
Mm-hmm.
to recent online auctions, what is the current market price for a
Oh my God.
71 Dom Perignon?
I was wondering
A,
that.
$450. B, $4,500. C, $45,000.
450.
D?
There's
We had
no
4
D.
options last time.
There's no D. There was D in the first one. There's no D this
All
time.
right.
There's
Okay,
a different
so it's just-
number of options in these.
No,
I would say
fair enough.
450, because if it was $120 and what 79, it's not going to go up to
No, that's
$45,000.
$120 at a restaurant with the markup, though.
Right, so that's what I'm saying. It's probably
Yeah, it's not going to be
$450.
astronomical.
You guys did a good job with this one. I thought I'd get you, but yes, it is A, $450.
Nice.
Yeah, I was just looking at
$71, Right.
All right, we're 2 for 2.
I like the
Gorgeous.
72.
We're killing it.
I think the
We're
72
killing
is
it.
a better year, but that's just me. Okay,
Okay. Snob.
now the father, right? The
Sir.
father at the table
Yes.
is played by none other than Ben Piazza, right? And I
Yes.
thought I recognized him. Character actor Ben Piazza appeared in which of the following popular mediocre television shows? A,
Okay.
The A-Team. B, Mr. Belvedere. C, Cagney and Lacey. D,
God.
Dynasty. E,
Probably.
Saint Elsewhere. F, Facts of Life. G,
Uh-huh.
Gunsmoke. H, Heart to Heart. I,
Oh, yeah.
Barney Miller. J, Jake and the Fat Man. K,
No, he wasn't the
Kojak.
fat man.
L, Lou Grant. M, Matlock. N,
Oh, easily.
Nero Wolf. O,
Gosh,
Outlaws.
Nero Wolf.
P, Marblehead Manor. Q, Moonlighting. R, The
Oh, yeah,
Rockford
that sounds like a porno.
Files. S, Santa Barbara. T, T.J. Hooker. U,
Oh, with Kirk.
Twilight Zone. V,
Everybody.
I think
Family
everybody's been in
Ties.
Twilight Zone at some point.
Yeah.
W, The Waltons. X,
Oh.
Dallas. Y, Too Close for Comfort. Z,
Monroe.
Zane Grey Theater.
Wait a minute. What was B again?
Double A, The Mod Squad.
Oh, my
Double
God.
B, Benson. Double C,
Okay.
Ben Casey. Double D, Dragnet. Double E, Mannix. Double F, The Fugitive. Double
way was it
G,
The Fugitive.
Kingston Confidential. Double
Nope.
H,
Never heard of that.
The Bionic Woman.
Ooh,
Double I, Barnaby
lucky if
Jones.
so.
And double J, all of the above.
Wait, is there like a double? Wait, what comes after J? Is there like a double
Wait a minute,
K
wait a minute.
that's like A and W
Wait a
and
minute.
E?
Tom,
What?
Tom, there's no way we could keep track of all those.
Oh no, we
At
know the
all.
answer. It's Little House on the Prairie. It was easily Little House on the Prairie.
I'm sorry,
Right.
He was
Tom,
on
but
Little-
Little House was not one of the choices.
I
It
don't
was
care.
the Waltons, Tom. It was the Waltons.
Again.
Oh, it was Walton. Same thing.
Tom, again,
John Boy,
I
he's on
know.
both shows.
he dreamt that he was in Little House, like he dreamt the clown murdering that one, murdering
true.
the girl.
Right? Yeah. Wasn't he? Yeah. He wasn't the
I know
clown,
I've
but he was
seen
the pirate.
I know I've seen him on Belvedere. Wesley.
Oh, really?
Wesley.
It's probably not all of the above because it never is on the SATs. It's probably like it's probably C.
Wesley.
It's always C, right?
It's
What
always
was C?
Wesley.
What was C?
Cagney and Lacey.
It was Cagney and Lacey.
You're sick.
It was
No.
Psycho.
Sorry,
It
it
was
was
Psycho.
double J, all of the above.
Oh
You
my
missed it.
God!
2 for 3 is not bad, though.
Guy
Wow.
made some dough then. He made $1.01 in this business.
That guy, he made enough money to
Sure
eat at
did.
Chez Paul every single night.
My
Right?
God.
And not to,
Yeah,
and
with his
hopefully
family,
never
with his
have to
entire
encounter
family.
any smells that he did not approve of.
No. And the reason he can't smell is because Walter Matthau shaves off half his mustache and shoves it up his left nostril in the Bad News Bears. Or threatens to, anyway.
That's right.
Wesley.
Oh, God, I love the Bad News Bears.
Me too.
Wesley.
Let's do that. Buttermaker.
You
Crud, does that booger-eating moron make me want to puke?
Buttermaker.
That was beautiful
With the
trivia.
wall.
Thank you,
Oh,
Dan.
thanks. Yeah, play the music. There it is.
Yeah, I am playing.
No,
it. Can't you hear the
I
music?
do.
Of course. That was gorgeous.
You got to like in this scene that when the food comes, they go into that whole like that fine dance of that when they at a fine dining place where everybody descends upon you and takes the extra
I love that.
things away and starts moving
synchronized
with
swimming.
their. Yeah, it's a very
And it's
synchronized
shot from above, in
yeah.
the Buzzley
situation.
Berkeley style, like in the pool scene. from
I
Caddyshack.
was gonna say, yeah. Oh yeah, beautiful. Yeah.
Yep. I want
And
one
there
of
is
them
a
to-
little. There's a couple noises
Yeah, go
in
ahead,
here.
Mike. Sorry.
There's a couple noises in here that get my misophonia going though when they
Oh God.
go
They
into the
start
shrimp.
smacking that shrimp.
Oh
It's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
it's got that.
Oh
sound.
my God.
That is rough.
That is.
Is that in this minute or is that the next minute?
Well,
I
they
honestly
take
don't
a
know
bite of the
anymore.
shrimp.
I guess they do. Yeah.
I guess they do. I guess they do. Yes, you do.
That's a good movie. We're in the heart of this movie.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of it.
This
aren't
movie's
we?
good from now on.
It's
Yeah.
getting real.
I want to say again that what's his name? Mr. Fabulous. What's his
Alan
name?
Rubin.
The actor's name. I should have looked this up.
Reuben.
Alan
Al
Rubin.
Rubin.
He's actually a fine
Alan
actor.
Rubin.
Yeah, he's
Out of all the musicians, he's probably the best of the actual non-actor musicians. He's the
I
best
agree.
actor.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
Alan Rubin was the kind of the.
So what he was on, because the horn section is all from the Saturday Night Live band.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting how those band members could get. Lorne Michael gave them time off to be in, but not Paul Schaefer.
Yeah.
You know,
Doesn't seem
well,
right.
maybe Paul Schaefer had a different kind of contract. You know, like those guys probably were just like recurring free agents every year, whereas
A
Paul
hired help.
Schaefer maybe had a long-term
Yeah.
contract. Yeah,
Yeah.
good question. There's no way to find it out.
We don't know how Hollywood works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
It's
wrong.
hopeless. Well, maybe that wraps up episode 25 of the.
Was there
I
anything
guess
else?
it
though?
does.
I don't know. We want to thank our ever-growing roster of patrons over at Patreon. We've already got our buddy Mark, our buddy Captain America, our buddy Pork Snorter House. We've
thanks,
also
Pork.
got May, who's joined us, and we've got. Listen to this. We've got. You guys aren't even going to get this because you're not nerds. We've got Snoke Porterhouse.
Snoke.
Snoke, as you know, is the main bad guy in the new Disney Star Wars
don't know
movies.
that.
At least until they got
that's
cut in
right.
half
I
in the
know him
last
now.
one. Snoke
Snoke
Porterhouse.
Porterhouse.
That's gorgeous.
Look at the Schwartz buildup on this lightsaber.
You got us, and it's to go back to the minute though, when Elwood's trying to break into the china cabinet.
That's
Just
really
very
good,
gently.
Yeah. And
He's like, oh, I
casual.
want to
The
see some of
cure-
this stuff.
Yeah, the curio cabinet.
Yeah, I think my mom had this one.
My grandson's learned to pump off, and he's been spraying all over the house.
It's disgusting.
He's a rascal.
Wiffle ball bat for sale. Yeah.
Come on.
Laptop computer, come on.
All right. Great job, everybody.
All right.
Oh, we're having fun. Well done.
let's
Well,
shut it
top
down.
notch.
Yeah, music's on by now. I'm guessing.
Probably. I think I hear Rodney or Boats or just mayhem kind of yelling, kind of, oh no, something's happening.
You scratched my ankle.
Yeah.
I just got hit for $1 air hot.
What are these, Hell's Angels?
Okay, fine.
Okay, fine. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for listening to the Movie Hole. Thanks for being
shut up.
you.
We're the Blues Brothers Minute.
And thank you in advance for coming back next time for the next minutes of the Blues Brothers here on the
Blues Brothers Minute.
Scratched my ankle.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. Please find us online at bluesbrothersminute.com. That's Blues, B-R-O-S Minute. And then find us on Facebook at Blues Brothers Minute, same spelling, and at Twitter at Blues Bros Min. And if you want to support the show and get some fun stuff like early access to shows and postcards from the three of us, go to www.patreon, patreon.com/ditchdiggers. You'll be glad you did. And if you love this show, you will not hate the Caddyshack Minute, which you can find in the podcatcher of your choice, or you can head over to caddyshackminute.com. See you next time.